Hello and welcome to the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week. Tonight's contest features Harvard-Westlake against Loyola from the CIF Southern Section. They're playing for the Mission League Championship. Hello everybody, my name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. It's number one against number two, the two seeds in the Mission League colliding for the title. No surprise there with Loyola and Harvard-Westlake. Paul Westfall's alongside, and Paul, I guess they had it right. The seeding committee, 1 against 2, the matchup we've been waiting for.
No question about that. Now, the regular season champ Loyola survived Chaminade last night, 61-60. It's a veteran team that features a balanced offense and a strong defense, but the Cubs are going to have to shoot a lot better than they did last night and avoid those turnovers that came in bunches. While Harvard-Westlake is finally healthy for the second half of the season, and their inside-outside game creates some matchup nightmares. Plus, they'd like a little payback after a regular season loss to the Cubs.
Our player spotlight tonight is brought to you by our good friends at the local Southern California Toyota dealers. And we're going to start with Johnny Juzang. He averages over 22 a night for the Wolverines.
Oh, a special player. He'll be one of the top recruits in the class of 2020. He's an elite outside shooter, but he's got a lot more to his game than that. He's very comfortable with his handle, and he can really score in traffic because he's a high flyer. He is a special player that has taken on an additional leadership role this year for Harvard-Westlake.
The Cubs, they have a great one in James Keefe. He's on his way to Stanford. He averages better than 15 an outing.
Fundamentally sound. He's a terrific low post player. Got a nice 15-foot turnaround jumper, and he can finish in traffic because he's a high flyer who also uses that leaping ability to block shots and start the fast break for the Cubs.
We're going to come back, and we're going to have the starting five for Harvard-Westlake and Loyola, and the tip-off on KDOC. Should be a great one. The championship of the Mission League.
More craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
It's time for the ultimate Sleep Number event on the Sleep Number 360 smart bed. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus 24-month financing on all smart beds, only for a limited time.
Hey, Ted! What's up? Just getting a quote from Mercury Insurance.
Analysis complete. Here's what you can save.
No way!
Real members are saving real money on auto insurance through the Auto Club.
I was pretty shocked to find out that I was going to save $400. I thought that it was going to be much more expensive.
When you're trying to raise a family of 5, and in this economy, it's really nice to be able to save.
I would pay more for this level of customer service, but with AAA, I don't have to.
They told me what the price was going to be, and I told them to go back and recheck because I could not believe it.
Believe it. Switch your auto insurance and you could save an average of $447. That could be hundreds better than Geico, State Farm, even Allstate. And that's just the start.
I have my house insurance. I have my car insurance. It was a no-brainer for me to go with AAA.
Belong to an alumni association? Insure both your auto and home? You could save even more. Plus, get a $100 travel certificate when you switch. Best of all, get the service we're famous for and peace of mind.
I'm glad I switched. What are you waiting for?
Call 800-604-8097 for your free quote. The Auto Club. So easy, so smart, so switch.
What's more craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza. What's for dinner? Shakey's Pizza, chicken and mojos, now starting at just $9.99. And your local Southern California Toyota dealers. Randy Rosenblum back with Paul Westfall, the professor. Loyola, the top seed in our tournament, the Mission League tournament. You love it. It's kind of like a college atmosphere, a college tournament. And there's the number 2 seeded Harvard-Westlake Wolverines. Our starting lineups are presented by Shakey's Pizza. And let's see what the professor says about these starting units.
All right, for Harvard-Westlake, Spencer Hubbard, Johnny Juzang, Truman Gettings, Grace Dotton, and Mason Hooks. For Loyola, it's Neil Owens and Mason Butler, C.J. Jones, James Keefe, and Anthony Lucenti. An all-senior lineup for Jamal Adams and the Cubs.
Well, Loyola has that experience factor. It's a youthful but talented team at Harvard-Westlake. They were mighty impressive last night in dispatching Notre Dame in the semifinals. And there's Loyola that just got by Chaminade, the professor's keys.
All right, for Loyola, Adam begat James. That's a word we don't hear a lot anymore, the biblical word begat. But James Keefe's father is Adam Keefe, who was a tremendous player at Woodbridge High School and then at Stanford and the NBA. Get the lid out. Last night, Loyola just had a lid on the basket. They missed a lot of shots they normally make. They're going to have to shoot a lot better tonight, and particularly at the free throw line where they missed 10 in a row. And the Butler did it. Last night, Mason Butler came alive in the fourth quarter. He had 13 points, but most of them in the fourth for that one-point victory over Chaminade. For Harvard-Westlake, Hooks, line and sinker. If Mason Hooks gets to the free throw line, it's probably because James Keefe fouled him, and that will sink Loyola. The buck stops here. That's Harry Truman's quote. Well, they have a Truman of their own in Truman Gettings, the 6'8 sophomore, who I like his game a lot, and dotting the I's. When HW lost to Loyola in regular season play, they had only two guys in double figures. That was Juzang and Hooks. The third one tonight might be Braze Dotton. If he scores in double figures, Harvard-Westlake will be tough to beat.
Hooks controls the tap, and Harvard-Westlake goes on the offense. The first quarterback in the team is Spencer Hubbard, number 2. Inside, Truman Gettings.
Right on cue for Gettings. That's Stone Gettings' brother, who was a Loyola star, who went on to Cornell and now is a graduate transfer at the University of Arizona. Interesting to see Gettings on the opposite roster.
Keefe, the all-star. Lucenti, who really has a passion to drive the basketball, number 30 for Loyola. Keefe working the baseline. Rebound, Juzang, Harvard-Westlake. Juzang for 3. 5-0 Wolverines.
Oh, such an elite outside shooter, but he does a whole lot more than that. But when he hits his first one, the basket looks awfully big right now for Johnny Juzang. That's not a good sign for the Cubs.
Johnny averages 22 and 18. Lucenti traveled. And an excellent start for Harvard-Westlake.
On the defensive end, both possessions were influenced by the size of Mason Hooks. There you see he made it difficult for Lucenti. And the first two possessions for Loyola, they tried to go inside against the tall Hooks. That might not be the way to go.
Mason Hooks is an immovable object down on that low block. Dotton, offensive foul. He just shoved Neil Owens out of the way.
Excellent job by Owens, who is a very savvy, really smart basketball player. That time he moved his feet well, got his torso in position to absorb the charge.
First meeting earlier this year was won by Loyola against Harvard-Westlake, 66-61. It's the reason they won the regular season title. Keefe going to work. Lucenti from downtown, not close, and Juzang comes back the other way for Harvard-Westlake. On the baseline, Juzang hits again. He has 5 early points. Jamal Adams doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout with 6:09 left in the opening quarter.
Outstanding effort on both ends by Harvard-Westlake. Hooks on the defensive end and Juzang on the offensive end. He's virtually unguardable. You almost have to hope that he misses, because not only has he got an excellent handle, he can get to where he wants to on the floor and then elevate over the defender.
Juzang already has Villanova, Virginia, Kentucky SC, and UCLA looking at him. And speaking of players to look at, tomorrow night, the game of the year in the regular season in prep basketball. We'll have it for you at 7:30 on KDOC. Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian.
Oh, absolutely remarkable that these two teams, who will probably meet maybe once or twice more come playoff time, are going to play in the regular season. But we have high-level Division I players on both sides. Don't miss that one. It is indeed going to be just a festival of dunks and high-flying activity.
Loyola looking to get off the schneid early, 2 minutes into action. Jones to Lucenti. Inside, Keefe against Hooks. Tough shot. Hooks did a great job defending him.
3 straight possessions that Hooks has just been impossible to get a clean look over the top. I would think they might want to go inside out next time and see if they can't get one of their talented perimeter shooters off the schneid.
Hubbard, outstanding ball handling. And he walked.
Great pressure by Mason Butler on that entire sojourn to the basket by Hubbard, and there you see the travel.
7-0, an early burst for Harvard-Westlake. Mason Butler for 3. Air ball, Lucenti tries to save it, but it's Harvard-Westlake and Dotton who's fouled from behind. Now Butler in the earlier meeting went off. He had 18 points for Loyola and hit 5 threes, but he wasn't close with that first attempt.
No, and that's not a great sign for Loyola. When they make 6 or more threes in a game this year, they're 16-2. Well, so far the basket looks a little on the smallish side for the Cubs.
Hooks facing up. Missed the shot. Lucenti has it for the Cubs. On the floor, Hooks comes up with it. Loyola does a nice job getting back defensively after the turnover.
Yeah, they don't give up a lot of easy baskets because they really do play good transition.
Well, there's an easy one for Mason Hooks at 245 pounds. He's so strong inside.
He knows how to play big. Sometimes big guys don't know how to play big. They'll bring the ball down, they'll make themselves smaller, they'll commit silly fouls. Hooks does none of that. He keeps the ball up high. He seldom fouls unnecessarily. He's a really savvy basketball player.
Loyola's a veteran team, but they're down 9-0 early. Owens sifting inside, draws the foul. Because they're veterans, you would think that Loyola will not panic, even though they've started slowly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's an all-senior lineup, but there you see excellent high-low action on the first possession, and then Juzang with a catch and shoot on the second.
Juzang with 5 early points for Harvard-Westlake.
Why just drive when you can be thrilled? See all offers at buyatoyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
Why just drive when you can be thrilled? See all offers at buyatoyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Surfliner Game of the Week. A good look at Dave Rabibo, the talented 35-year-old head coach of the Wolverines, and he has to love the start of this contest.
Oh, his team has come out absolutely on fire, playing with great intensity on both ends of the court, and he's getting a number of people involved in the offense. A perfect start if you're Harvard-Westlake.
And for the Cubs, a sluggish beginning, but again, they're veterans. They start all seniors. You know that they'll have a rally cry around Jamal Adams, who in his own right was a great player at Loyola High School.
That he was, then went on to a nice career at Columbia, had a successful career in Wall Street before he came back to coach his alma mater.
Owens will stride to the free throw line. Neal averages over 10 a game as a 67% free throw shooter. As you look at Adams peering in, and he loves this team. He believes they've overachieved. There was not high expectations at the beginning of the year, and he's thrilled that they're being considered for the Open Division.
Yeah, they come off a rather lackluster season for Loyola standards last year, just 14-13, lost in the second round. But this group of seniors, great chemistry. They play for each other, and as a coach, you can't say anything nicer about a team than that.
Hubbard again will be the setup guy. Juzang on the wing is their star. Here he is. He goes again. Missed the shot. And Keefe rebounds. And if you talk to Keefe, he'll tell you, I love to rebound. He takes great pride in getting the ball off the glass.
He has terrific energy on both ends of the court. plays a lot like Dad did, and Sanford's got a good one.
Adam Keefe was a tremendous volleyball player. James elected not to play volleyball. Jones' shot goes in and out. Fast break, nobody guards McCray, and he scores. And Harvard-Westlake gets down to 4 and leads 11-2.
A rare mistake in transition defense by Loyola. They completely forgot about the guy on the wing, and we've got a ball on the floor and maybe a held ball situation.
The desire of the championship game.
Ooh.
Hubbard picked up the foul in that little skirmish for Harvard-Westlake, so it'll be inbounded by the Cubs.
One of the better athletes on this Loyola Cubs team, Colby Brooks, number 20, comes in. He's a 6'6 junior with some hops.
Keefe lost it. Hubbard leads another break. Thrower will back it up. Cameron Thrower, number 24, who's come in. Juzang. Rebound Keefe.
That's one of those where you just hope he misses because he actually drove into traffic but just elevated above the crowd.
Lucenti goes up strong and draws the foul. That's his game. He uses his body very well to get to the cup.
I like this kid a lot. He's good at everything. He's kind of one of those glue guys that you need if you're going to make a long playoff run. Anthony, Paul Westhead's grandson, so he comes from basketball stock.
6'4 senior, 3-year starter. There's Jared Cox, solid defender, in for Keefe. Loyola has not hit a bucket so far. All their points at the charity stripe. They're down 11-4.
But as badly as they've shot it, they're still within range. They haven't let Harvard-Westlake get out to one of those double-figure leads this early.
Inside, the Truman Show continues. Truman Gettings.
He knows how to move without the basketball, present himself to the passer. That's his second easy basket in as many tries.
And it was a gorgeous delivery from Hubbard. Brooks kisses it up and in. Colby Brooks. That's what you want off the bench. Immediate help.
Goes strong to the hoop. He likes that spin move back to that left hand. That was pretty.
Juzang again in traffic. Scores. What a shot off the baseline. He's shaking his head. He believes he can't be stopped.
The defense was there that time, but once again, Juzang just a little bit higher than the defense.
There's Brooks cleaning up. Rejected brilliantly. Cameron Thrower with the rejection. Inside of 2 minutes to play. Opening quarter, the championship game of the Mission League. And one for Truman Gettings.
Featured him in my keys. I thought maybe they needed a complimentary scorer to the usual excellence of Juzang and hooks. It has been Gettings in the early going who has made himself strong, large in the post. They've found him. He's converted.
James Keefe rushed right back into the lineup for the Cubs. They need his leadership out there.
Yeah, his interior defense as well. He's a terrific post defender, knows how to position himself, also is a good help side shot blocker. And right now Loyola just needs to weather this storm and get out of this first quarter without too much more damage.
Despite the miss, Gettings has 6 points in this opening frame, and he averages only 8 a night, so he's come out strong. 20 on the shot clock. Colby Brooks. Owens with the follow. Off of Keefe and out of bounds to Harvard-Westlake.
Boy, something about this gym that Loyola doesn't like. Last night they had numerous point-blank opportunities that the rim just didn't want. There was another one after a superb offensive rebound by Owens, and Jamal Adams says, why can't we make a basket in this gym?
Well, the Cubs are going to have to fight through it if they're going to overcome Harvard-Westlake. Keefe thought he had a clean steal, but he's called for a foul.
Boy, that's a tough one because I thought James had done a nice job of three-quarter defense, then anticipating the pass, hit it with that offhand. I thought that was clean from this particular vantage point.
C.J. Jones checks in. Lucente will get a breather for Loyola.
Jones is a really good shooter. He's a confident shooter with a quick release. I think they should see if they can get him the ball. His first one was in and out.
Hard to miss Adam Hinton, number 21, has come in for Harvard-Westlake with the afro, the Dr. J style haircut. Inside Hooks. Couldn't finish, but he's going to the line to shoot two. And Mason Hooks is a big man. He's very strong, great hands. You can see the power there.
And he knows how and when to roll to the hoop. He stood out there about 12 feet until the baseline drive occurred. Then 2 steps, roll to the hoop, accept the pass, had a chance for a three-point play.
The Harvard-Westlake coaching staff in football tried to recruit Hooks to play tight end, but he said, no, I won't do that. My passion is basketball. But what he does do, he's the color analyst on the streaming of the girls' games at Harvard-Westlake. So he's got broadcasting in the back of his mind.
I think he has a lot of options once he finishes his college career. This young man, I think, got a chance to play big at the next level.
Inside of 1 minute to play in the quarter. Cox shut off on the baseline, and he travels. Great defense and help defense by the Wolverines of Harvard-Westlake from Studio City.
The energy defensively from Harvard-Westlake has been the difference in the game. I mean, they have made every half-court possession for Loyola just absolutely impossible to get a clean look, whether it's from the perimeter or inside the paint. And you got to love it if you're David Rabibo, because that's the kind of enthusiastic defense you're going to need come playoff time.
Cubs again in this first quarter, just 1 basket, and they haven't had a starter get a goal. Remember, the 1 basket was by Colby Brooks, who came in, the 6'6" junior, who is their 6th man.
But as bad as it's been for that man, Jamal Adams, if they get a stop here and a basket, it's inside of 10. As bad as they have shot the basketball, to be down inside of 10 at the end of 1, things would be worse. Not sure what is our debate about here, Randy.
Well, it looks like they're checking who's in the game and if somebody was reporting correctly, and the officiating crew says, yeah, everything's right. Just wanted to check if the players had reported in, because we had players going in and out of the lineup. 17-6 Loyola is down by 11 to Harvard-Westlake.
Had a good look at Coach Rabibo. Of course, Randy, you know he won a LA City title at El Camino Real.
Yeah, he did a great job there as a young coach. Hooks. A second opportunity. And this one's going against Harvard-Westlake. The foul on Adam Hinton, the sophomore.
Boy, Hooks had a point-blank opportunity, and it came up empty. And then a clean look on a baseline mid-range that sails clean over the hoop. If Loyola can get one here, particularly if they get a 3 to end the quarter, Randy, at 17-9 wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, Brace Dotton's the one that tossed up the air ball, and usually he's money from the side. Jones being pressured. Again, the defense of Harvard-Westlake, they're swarming. They're relentless. Mason Butler for 3. Keefe battling inside, but Hooks with that power just took the ball away. Cameron Thrower puts it in overdrive.
That might have been a freshman mistake. They could have had the last shot.
2 seconds left. Keefe put it up and drew the foul with 1 second remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, I think if Coach Rabibo could have shouted quickly enough, he would have had Thrower pull it out and save it for the last one. Now, not only does Loyola get a chance to score, Hooks picks up a late quarter foul.
In their first meeting, Keefe had 25 points in a victory at Harvard-Westlake. Trying to get his production going here late in the quarter. He has not scored.
Yeah, and that they just can't have. I mean, obviously, they need balanced scoring, and they have had none. And the lid on the basket the last 2 nights for the Cubs is remarkable. This is a good shooting team that averages about 8.5 made threes a game. they can't even buy a free throw.
Keith gets one of two, 17-7. And the quarter is over. And it was a great one for second-seeded Harvard-Westlake. McRae on the fast break in the easy deuce. Brooks able to get one back for Loyola. But the inside game of Truman Gettings was true for Harvard-Westlake.
The Fix Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers.
Over 100 years ago, we were talking about the Model T. Now here we are, talking about winning the most J.D. Power IQS and Appeal Awards, talking about driver assist technology, talking about the highest customer loyalty in the country. But that's enough talking. Seriously, that was a lot of talking. Back to building.
Now get an extra $1,000 when you trade. That's another $1,000 on top of 0 for 60 plus $3,000 on F-150. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
Hey, Ted! What's up? Just getting a quote from Mercury Insurance.
Analysis complete. Here's what you can save.
No way!
When you hear the word sizzler, do you think steak or shrimp? Perhaps you think both, as in steak and shrimp scampi. Or how about that steak and honey sriracha shrimp starting at $11.99? Yeah, when you hear steak, shrimp, and $11.99, you want sizzler.
Jamal Adams chatting with his team. They could not score the ball in that first quarter, only 7 points. And Paul, this is a good shooting team. They shoot 47% from the floor.
Yeah, and particularly from three-point land, they probably have 4 guys that can fill it up. It was just the intensity of the Harvard-Westlake defense, I think, made most Loyola players uncomfortable. I think the only player we agreed between the quarter that was playing with confidence was number 20, Colby Brooks. But Loyola just needs to see the ball go through the hoop a couple of times, and I think they'll relax and play their game. But the first quarter, first round certainly goes to Harvard-Westlake. They played with a lot more energy and efficiency.
Yeah, they looked great last night, beating a very good Notre Dame team from Sherman Oaks, who has Zaire Williams, one of the great junior players in the country. Lucente, Colby Brooks, and he was out of bounds. And he was also there too long on a 3-second violation.
Had he gone straight up after the wonderful behind-the-back bounce pass by Lucente in traffic, if he goes straight up, the worst that's going to happen is he probably gets a 2-shot foul. But he hesitated, and they got the rare 3-second call.
McRae with a nice feed inside. This time Gettings too far underneath the iron. Still won't fall for Loyola as C.J. Jones missed an open look.
And that's their game. Drive and kick to a guy who's got his feet set, and Jones just couldn't knock it down.
Back the other way. Juzang can't hit it, but Hooks follows up twice. Mason Hooks this time had his pocket picked by Keefe. Well, Loyola's defense is solid. Can they get going offensively? Really look out of sorts in their half-court game.
Yeah, even the passes are not, where you need them to be if you're going to shoot it.
Brooks can't hit. Keefe cleans up. And it goes right through the wicket.
Oh.
Right through the legs of C.J. Jones.
I mean, that's just another example of a senior team that just seems completely out of rhythm. Good effort by Keefe to keep the possession alive, and then a normal pass to Jones gets him a clean look. Instead, it goes through his leg.
There's no question that Loyola is pressing a little bit in this championship game. Juzang, a 3-ball for Johnny Juzang. He's in double digits with 10, and it's 20-7 Harvard-Westlake.
Perfect high ball screen from Truman Gettings. Got Juzang an open look, and of course he's going to bury that.
Keefe in the paint. His left hand shot off the iron. Hubbard breaking the other way. What a great block by C.J. Jones. Butler from downtown. Again, Loyola continues to be ice cold.
And Gettings just won that 50-50 ball by yanking the ball out of the Cubs player's hand.
5:45 to play in the half. Truman Gettings under duress. Colby Brooks did a nice job, and this foul's going against Harvard-Westlake.
Gettings was calling for the ball on the right block, and he got it, but then he just got in a little bit of a hurry, shot it clean over the hoop, and then in his disgust at his own effort, then committed a foul going for the air ball on the other side.
So 1-1. So C.J. Jones will have an opportunity at the line. He's a terrific foul shooter, over 80% on the season. So let's see if he can knock it down and earn the bonus.
Well, that might be a way for them to cut into this deficit without making baskets if they can just get to the free throw line. You saw Colby Brooks leave the game. I thought he gave Jamal Adams tremendous energy coming off the bench when they were playing with not a lot of effort.
C.J. Kalen James is what the C.J. stands for.
I like that.
Kalen James Jones knocks down both fouls. 20-9.
Got to tighten the screws defensively, particularly got to stay attached to number 5, Juzang. About time for them to get Johnny a shot.
Here it comes. Rebound Keefe. And he does a terrific job of boxing out the opponent. Lucenti with the spin move. Keefe follows and misses. It just won't fall for the Cubs.
Oh, I bet you Keefe makes that about 98 out of 100, but not tonight.
Juzang with the fall away. He hits. Johnny Juzang with a dozen.
He's unguardable in the open court because he can change direction, and then if all else fails, he's a little step back, one-legged Dirk Nowitzki kind of shot.
Cubs back by 13. Lucenti forcing the action, offensive foul. Terrific job by Hubbard, staying stationary.
You see Lucenti one dribble more than he needed that time. At that point, the penetration could have resulted in a drive and kick, but he took it one more dribble than he needed to. Nice job by Hubbard to draw the charge. Loyola starting to talk to each other and not in a a positive sense, and I think this may be one of the few times all season that they found themselves where everybody is off on the same night. Jamal Adams trying to instill a little confidence into his group.
But it's a long game, and 13 points
can
be overcome, and it's a veteran Loyola team. Harvard-Westlake is going to have to keep it going, play hard, play with this kind of focus and desire if they're going to knock off the Cubs. And they have this man, Johnny Juzang. Tough shot again. Oh, he's been sensational. What a shot by Juzang. He has 14. 14 of the 24, and it's a 15-point bulge for Harvard-Westlake.
The defense was even there on that particular possession, but it didn't matter to Johnny. He is really sizzling hot.
Jones with a tough shot. That won't go. Hooks was there, and there were no Cubs in the area to rebound.
But that's halfway down and out again. The Cubs can't catch a break.
Hubbard wanted Hooks deflected out of bounds by the hustling James Keefe. Timeout on the floor. Under 4 minutes to play in the first half, and it's all Juzang. He's hitting them from everywhere, including from downtown.
Why just drive when you can be thrilled? See all offers at buyatoyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Glad you're back. How you feeling?
Exhausted. But finally being able to make that volunteer trip happen was awesome.
Awesome. You have to
What are they
scrub.
Let's do it every year.
We do it every year.
I thought you'd say that. Let's do it.
See how investing with a JP Morgan advisor can help you. Visit your local Chase branch.
Why just drive when you can be thrilled? See all offers at buyatoyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Spectators looking on this championship game, our Pacific Surfliner game of the week. And It is a championship game. It's the Mission League final. Number 1 Loyola against number 2 Harvard-Westlake. Wolverines have played great defense. Juzang shooting the lights out, and the Cubs just can't knock a shot down.
No, they even when they've had good opportunities, they haven't gone in. But then they forced a few, I think, in their anxiety about the way this first 12 minutes have gone. I think they might have maybe 2 baskets out of the first quarter and a half. But you just have to keep effort on the defensive end. Try to keep, if they could somehow cut this thing inside of 10 going into the locker room at halftime, it would be a productive last 4 minutes. They're trying to get Colby Brooks into the game, but they're saying he can't come in right now.
Well, they've defended well, Loyola. With this, Johnny Juzang has just hit shots even with defenders in his face.
Yeah, you got to stay attached to him. Just a sliver of space, and he'll rise up and with that 25-foot range.
Hubbard with 6 on the shot clock. In low, hooks. Defended well by Keefe, but he got it back. The cutter is McCray. Had it deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Harvard-Westlake.
Very nice play by C.J. Jones, because Hooks is a terrific passer out of either the low post to a cutter or the high post in the high-low action. This time he saw McCray coming right down the middle of the lane. Jones stopped it.
Hooks misses at short range, and this whistle's going against Harvard-Westlake.
I think they got Hooks this time, and I was wondering if they were ever going to call one of those. He's been banging people going for those offensive rebounds, and why not? Until they call one, just keep doing it. And for Hooks, I think that's his second foul.
It is his second.
Watch here as he just crashes into Lucenti, and that's a foul. You just can't bang people like that, even underneath.
Anthony earns the bonus. You mentioned it, he's Paul Westhead's grandson. Well, you got to think that at some point Mason Butler's going to start to knock down shots for Loyola. He's a terrific 3-ball marksman. But right now, Loyola's fighting it at the offensive end.
But defensively, just one possession at a time. You got to get some stops. I'd expect Juzang to maybe take one here.
From 30 feet, in and out. Gettings follows and scores. Truman Gettings. He's given the Wolverines a great lift in the opening half.
He's been excellent. All of his baskets have come from inside of 3 feet. But he's strong upper body, and he can get those things away.
Keefe, and they surround him. They know how good James Keefe is. Of course, league rivals. There's no surprises here. These teams know one another very, very well. Neil Owens will back it up. 7 on the shot clock. Lucenti with 2 on the clock, forced to put it up. And a great rebound from Adam Hinton. Hubbard exploding the other way. Lucenti rebounds, and it's the Cubs that are looking to break.
Helter skelter, back and forth.
Keefe with the flush. Maybe that'll get Loyola going.
Sometimes if you can't succeed in the half court, you got to push it even if you don't have numbers. That was 3-on-3, but still it resulted in some open court. And Keefe, who can finish with the best of them with the monster jam.
And some life for Loyola. Their body language a lot better after that slam dunk. Open look. In and out. Colby Brooks is fouled. They had left Adam Hinton alone and he missed it. But at the other end, Keefe rattled the rim.
Good job by Lucenti to push the action. Finds Keefe on the wing. That's as easy a basket as they've had all night long, and the Cubs are within 14. I thought that was going to go. I thought that foul was against Harvard-Westlake, but apparently it was against Loyola.
Yeah, they reversed the call.
Yeah, second foul on Lucenti. That's a tough one.
So it'll be Harvard-Westlake that'll bring it in. With 1:49 to play in the half. Gettings to McCray in the corner.
Plenty of time on the shot clock.
And a steal by that lefty, Colby Brooks. And he has played well for Loyola off the bench.
Yeah, that he has. He's brought a certain confidence that many of the Cubs not exhibiting here through the first quarter and a half.
Mason Butler looking to get untracked. Butler forces it up and scores, and that was a tough shot.
Whoa, that was absorbed some contact. That could have been an and one opportunity, but he finally gets one to go, and maybe that'll open up that perimeter jumper.
Back the other way. Harvard-Westlake and Brace Doughton continue to make big shots. 29-14 with a minute to play in the opening half. Colby Brooks working against Ju Zhang. Keefe for three. Good look.
Yeah, not sure if that's his strength, however.
Ju Zhang misses. Poked away. Picked up by Doughton. And a foul.
Well, Brooks had to challenge that because it was an uncontested baseline drive until Brooks got there. He'll put him on the line, make him earn it.
Brace Doughton, catch and shoot guy, really coming on of late for the Wolverines.
Yeah, he averages 10 points a game and been over 23 different times. And once again, come playoff time, if Harvard-Westlake, you know they're going to get their 40 to 50 out of Ju Zhang and Hooks every night, but they need somebody else in double figures in order to move on. And it might be Doughton, it might be Gettings, though what we've seen tonight.
I like the way Doughton slashes to the basket. He gets there. Trying to get the 30th point of the half for Harvard-Westlake, and does. Final 35 seconds. Loyola would love to knock down a shot before intermission. Down by 16, the top seed in the tournament.
No need to hurry here unless you've got an uncontested layup. Might as well take the last one here.
And Harvard-Westlake forces a Loyola turnover, and so the shot clock is put to bed for the half with 18 seconds remaining, and it's the Wolverines that'll get the last crack at the goal.
Nice play by Doughton. He jumped the passing lane, this on Super Bowl weekend. Nice job of, like a defensive back, he made the quarterback double clutch, threw it out of bounds.
In isolation for Ju Zhang. Kicks it into the corner, and a three ball up and in for Doughton. Brace Doughton. Butler from backcourt. Harvard-Westlake, the Wolverines were brilliant in that opening half. Truman Gettings doing yeoman work inside, but the story was number 5, Johnny Ju Zhang.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
At Bob's, you can count on a haggle-free shopping experience, online or in any of my stores coast to coast.
No haggling at all.
No need. We've pre-negotiated the very best prices for you with the manufacturers. Like my Calvin here. The Sofa Love Combo is only $6.99. No haggling required.
Well, this is a game changer. Now I'm in the driver's seat. How about $9.99?
Like I said, no haggling?
$11.99? Fine. $6.99. You're good.
Bob's Discount Furniture.
At AT&T, we believe in access, the opportunity for everyone to explore a digital world, connecting with the things that matter most. And because nothing keeps us more connected than the internet, we've created Access from AT&T. California households with at least one resident who receives SNAP or SSI benefits may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, deposit, or installation fee. Visit att.com/access now to learn more.
What if, in one moment, all of your dreams turn to dust?
On the road, the unexpected and unimaginable can happen, and dealing with an insurance company on your own can make a bad situation worse. Talk to Jacoby & Myers first. You need us on your side to get you the money you deserve. Call us first.
Those numbers are correct. Harvard-Westlake, the number 2 seed, playing aroused basketball in the opening half, have a nice bulge here. 33-14 over the Loyola Cubs. A lot of highlights, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of Harvard-Westlake and the Wolverines. And number 5 and number 10. And number 10 is Truman Gettings. Number 5 is Ju Zhang.
Early on, the Harvard-Westlake inside-out game was proving difficult to guard, and Ju Zhang, who can finish over the best defender, found himself open numerous times in that first half. Meanwhile, for Loyola, very few good looks at the basket, and what a spark from Truman Gettings. He got many of his baskets right at point-blank range, but look how strong he is with the upper body, scoring again inside, and Ju Zhang took care of the rest.
And the one shining moment of the first half was that dunk by James Keefe. But Harvard-Westlake, Grace Dotton, accurate out of the corner. And for good measure, a second 3-ball. Upcoming schedule on KDOC. How about tomorrow night? The game of the year in the regular season. The 2 top teams, I believe, in all of California, 2 of the premier squads in America, Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian from Pasadena City College.
Oh my gosh, Division I players galore, maybe even some one-and-dones eventually down the road. Just 2 of the most exciting teams to watch. It'll be end-to-end action. I would expect the score in the 80s, and then we've got a ton of Southern Section playoffs coming, and then capped off on March 9th with some college basketball. UC Riverside against UC Irvine.
I like that LA City section final. Fairfax with 2 wins already this year over Westchester. They're the number 1 seed. And again tomorrow night, the Battle of the Valleys, the game of the year in the regular season, the Trailblazers and the Eagles.
Oh, the Mobley brothers for Rancho Christian against the NBA sons of Scottie Pippen Jr., KJ Martin, and then you've got Cassius Stanley rising above the crowd to finish with game-breaking style.
When we come back on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, we're going to have a great story for you. It's about Gerard Lucas. Jared Lucas is a terrific player. He had 52 last night, and we will tell you why that is significant when we return to Alemany High School in Mission Hills on our Game of the Week on KDOC.
Why just drive when you can be thrilled? See all offers at buyatoyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
It's time for the ultimate Sleep Number event on the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus 24-month financing on all smart beds, only for a limited time.
Your favorite restaurants now deliver with DoorDash. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you're hungry for. It doesn't even matter how many you are. Restaurants come to you. Delicious at your door. Download DoorDash. First order, $1 delivery fee.
I work hard and I want my money to work hard too. So I use my Freedom Unlimited card. Even when I'm spending, I'm earning 1.5% cash back on everything I buy. Earning on headphones. Earning. Still earning. Always earning. I don't know where you're pointing. Not that one, the big one. You can't sneak a good earning opportunity past me. In fact, I got a hand modeling gig that starts right now. Earn 1.5% cash back on everything you buy with Freedom Unlimited. Ooh, my hands look good. Chase, make more with yours.
Tomorrow on the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, the Mobley brothers take on Scottie Pippen Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr., and Cassius Stanley on the biggest game of the season. Don't miss it, only on KDOC TV Los Angeles.
Why just drive? You can be thrilled. See all offers at buyatoyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Loyola really had trouble scoring the ball in the first half, trailing Harvard-Westlake in our Mission League championship game. But there's a young man at Los Altos, and Jared Lucas. He does not have trouble scoring the ball. He averaged so far, still has the tournament in front of him, 39.5 a game. And Jared Lucas is now the all-time leading scorer in the history of the CIF Southern section. You see the point total, and you see what he did against West Covina last night. 52.
I'll tell you, he is a pure scorer, a guy who can shoot it from NBA range. The guys he passed to become the Southern Section all-time leading scorer, he passed Casey Jacobson of Glendora, Taylor King from Mater Dei, he passed Tracy Murray from Glendora, LeAngelo Ball, and DeMar DeRozan. Pretty distinguished company.
Lucas is going to Oregon State, but Cedric Altman's another one. Cedric is on his way to Pepperdine, and he had a school record last night, 51 points in a huge victory over Alta Loma. You can see that Colony, his school, has won 61 consecutive league games, but that's a 6'3" guard that is going to be very good for Pepperdine.
Well, that's a great get for Pepperdine, because I think this young man's just beginning to scratch the surface as to how good he can be.
And as you can see on our graphic, the sky's the limit, literally. 33-14, Loyola with a lot of homework to do. 19 down, can the Cubs rally on KDOC?
Over 100 years ago, we were talking about the Model T. Now here we are, talking about winning the most J.D. Power IQS and Appeal Awards, talking about driver assist technology, talking about the highest customer loyalty in the country. But that's enough talking. Seriously, that was a lot of talking. Back to building.
Now get an extra $1,000 when you trade. That's another $1,000 on top of 0 for 60 plus $3,000 on F-150. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
When we switched to AAA insurance and we bundled our home and auto, we were shocked at the savings.
Not only did we increase our coverage significantly, but we also saved hundreds of dollars.
I switched to AAA because I saved over $450. That makes a big difference in my budget.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you can save an average of $447 on auto insurance. Compare that to Geico, State Farm, even Allstate. Call now for your free auto insurance quote to find out how much you could save.
This type of savings on the insurance goes a long way in helping me do the things I like to do.
Because of the savings that we get from having AAA insurance, we're able to do more of the things that we love.
We might go to the spa, go to the concert, go out to eat.
Yeah, it makes me feel good about spending the money when I know we've already saved it.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 877-214-1312 for your free auto insurance quote today. AAA Insurance, helping you save more.
At Bob's Discount Furniture, we have something that many furniture retailers don't have: stores.
Like actual stores?
Over 100 stores coast to coast, surrounded by convenient parking lots.
People drive to these stores?
That's right. Plus, these stores have doors that automatically open for you.
What else do these stores have?
They have comfy, colorful, and totally awesome furniture, of course. And get this, in a store, you can actually sit before you buy.
Do other people know about this?
Welcome to the future, kid.
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza. What's for dinner? Shakey's Pizza, chicken and mojos, now starting at just $9.99. And your local Southern California Ford dealers go further. Of course, we want to thank our friends who bring you these games. Pacific Surfliner, the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Travel by train to top Southern California destinations involving San Diego, Santa Barbara, and many more. Plan your trip at PacificSurfliner.com. I love their motto, hug the coast.
It is indeed a beautiful trip. If you haven't done it, I strongly urge you, go to PacificSurfliner.com and check out your options.
Well, Loyola and White needs to play spirited basketball in the second half. Hooks burrowing inside. Keefe rebounds. I suspect we'll see a different Cubs team. Down by 19. Owens. Jones out on top to Butler. They've done a nice job smothering him tonight, not letting him get clean looks. Jones nearly traveled. Still 15 on the shot clock for Owens. Owens penetrates but lost it out of bounds.
The Wolverines' aggressive man-to-man defense has forced Loyola to start their offense way out beyond the three-point line, so that if you do drive to the basket, there's plenty of time for help. As you saw that time, Owens got 95% of the way, but then they got some help around the baseline, caused him to lose it out of bounds, and that's a tough one for Loyola coming out of the locker room. You know they wanted to run something to get themselves an easy basket.
Hubbard surveying. Here's Juzang, who is the star of the first half. Contested jumper. That one doesn't fall. It's out of bounds, and the Wolverines will retain.
Really good defense by Lucenti that time, staying with Juzang and then forcing him into a difficult shot that was highly contested. No clear look that time for Johnny.
Hooks threw that one up too hard. Gettings followed. And finally a rebound for C.J. Jones of Loyola. Hard to believe that the Cubs only have 14 points in the game and we're in the third stanza.
Yeah, this is remarkable. Their lack of shooting 2 nights in a row. It was even worse tonight than it was last night.
Butler under duress from Dotton. They had to throw it off of Brace to retain possession. But that's how the Wolverines are playing, a smothering defense.
And extending way out where you would normally kind of let a guy have some space. They're not. They're in the Cubs jerseys. So you would think perhaps a ball fake and maybe some backdoor cuts might be able to free somebody in the paint, because Harvard-Westlake is really aggressive.
Lucenti backing Gettings down, but he's not close with that shot.
Good defense without fouling by Gettings.
Juzang, and one. He has been truly magnificent. Johnny Juzang.
There's not much you can do about that. If you're Lucenti, you stayed on the floor for the first fake, and then he just sort of took it into the defender, gets the benefit of the favorable call in the and-one situation. But I'm sure that's what Coach Adams is talking about. He goes, look, he's the guy who initiated the contact. How is that on my guy?
Juzang has been a scoring machine. He has 17. Keep in mind he averages just above 22 a game. 36-14 for the Wolverines. Jones with a tough try. Out of bounds, Harvard-Westlake. This is just terrific, stifling defense by Harvard-Westlake.
Yeah, as impressive as Juzang and Gettings and Dotton have been, I've been more impressed with Harvard-Westlake's. The defense has not given the Cubs a chance to breathe offensively.
Hubbard, outstanding ball handler, got to the rim. Heartbreak shot, Keefe cleans up. Cubs looking to push it. In transition, finally, Jones knocks it down. And it's a 3-ball, and maybe that'll be the shot that ignites the Cubs.
Jones, a very confident shooter, really likes that corner 3, and that time he's had some tough luck. He's had a couple go in and out.
Hooks from deep. Out of bounds. Saving the ball. Lucenti. Owens for 3. 2 in a row from deep. From the land of 3 for Loyola. And you see some life. They're still a long way back, but those 2 threes forced Dave Rabibo into a timeout. And you can see the excitement on the Loyola bench and their side. The reserves coming out to greet the starters.
This is the Loyola Cub basketball that they've played to get themselves to a 21-5 record on the year. In the open court, fan out. Somebody will drive and find the open shooter, and nicely done by both Jones and Owens to fill it up and get them back within 16.
Please repeat. Okay, we have the big ACC doubleheader tomorrow. I love the first matchup, a couple national ranked teams in Virginia Tech and NC State, and then Virginia, who I think could be a Final Four team the way they play defense. Their defense is almost as good as Harvard-Westlake's. They'll be on against Miami.
Well, Virginia Tech's is 1 game out of first, and NC State's on the bubble. I think the ACC gets 7 or 8 teams in. Right now, NC State's kind of locked into a win one, lose one kind of thing. Been a tough year for Miami so far, but they might catch Virginia looking 1 game ahead, because the next one for Virginia is against Duke in Charlottesville.
Well, Loyola has a little bit of a spark. And a turnover against Harvard-Westlake. And for the first time in the game, it's Loyola with some momentum.
Well, and Harvard-Westlake played almost turnover-free basketball in the first half. Now Loyola gets a chance to see if they can keep that momentum going. I would expect this time you'll see, once again, a drive and kick to an open shooter. I'd like to see them get the ball into Jones' hands. He looked pretty free on that last one.
Like you said, once they saw that first long one go down, the team felt better about itself, and then they got another triple.
Against this kind of defense, you got to move it quickly. You can't hold it. That lets the defense get back.
Keefe over Gettings. Juzang with the rebound. Lucenti went down hard, and hopefully he'll be okay.
He's a tough kid, and of course the Loyola bench wondering, well, that's not a foul. He got undercut going for the rebound. We might get a good look at it here.
Timeout on the floor, 4:19 left, third quarter. Loyola finally starting to can some shots. This one from Neil Owens.
More craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
What's more craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
Wolverines by 16. Let's go back to that last play. A lot of contact underneath the goal.
Yeah, you see here that Lucenti clearly gets undercut by the Harvard-Westlake rebounder. And while this is a rivalry game and they get after each other, I mean, that's a foul. You can't undercut an elevated player like that, and that's what Coach Adams was upset about on the sideline.
And with good reason. Well, the good news for Loyola, even though that call went against them, they've hit their last 2 threes, and it's good to see Lucenti go back out there. He is a tough kid. He absorbed that punishment, but he's going to stay out there. Anthony Lucenti, the senior, again a 3-year starter for Loyola. Cubs need defensive stops. Gettings, that's a great 2-man game with Juzang.
Terrific screen and roll to the basket, but Juzang is a willing passer, and that was delivered right on the money. Easy catch for Gettings and finish.
Lucenti able to flag down the pass. Owens off the iron. It's a very confident Harvard-Westlake team. They looked terrific last night in the semifinals, a 59-49 victory over Notre Dame of Sherman Oaks. And they've carried that mo into this championship game. They can afford to be deliberate with a handsome lead. Juzang from deep. Long shots take long rebounds, and McCray has it for Harvard-Westlake. And they'll set up the half-court attack again. Closing in on 3 minutes to play in the third.
Running some clock, running a little weave here. Somebody will pop out for a clean look. There he is. Oh.
They go back inside. Truman Gettings, and the passing of Harvard-Westlake. They're very unselfish.
That play was run for McCray to take a 3, and he had a really good look at it, but he saw that Gettings had a better.
Harvard-Westlake has doubled the arithmetic on Loyola. Jamal Adams forced to take the timeout. All smiles on that bench for Harvard-Westlake. Well, Loyola wants to get into the open division. This result right now, it doesn't look like they're going to get there. But, Paul, I know you have some teams you think that will get to the Open Division.
Well, I'll tell you, with the end drawing near, I think there are at least 6 that are locks, and you're looking at Sierra Canyon, Rancho Christian, Centennial. Etiwanda lost tonight, so perhaps that takes a little bit of the luster off the Eagles. Fish Montgomery, Rancho Verde, and of course the 2 from the Trinity League, Mater Dei and St. John Bosco. I'm not sure how you separate those 2, but then the last 4, Loyola, Chino Hills. Chino Hills helped themselves a lot with a win tonight. Damien, who's going to finish tie for second in that very difficult baseline league. And then these Harvard-Westlake Wolverines, when they have had everybody. Juzang missed a portion of the beginning of the year with a broken toe. When he has been there, they have been really good, and you got to wonder if they're getting a little bit of consideration at the finish line by the Open Division Selection Committee.
Well, if they're watching this game, this is quite a performance by Harvard-Westlake. Fouls on Dotton of Harvard-Westlake. That's his second. This is the number 1 seed, a team that's won 21 games, and they're trailing by 20. On a neutral floor after beating Harvard-Westlake in the regular season at Harvard-Westlake. Tells you how much the Wolverines have improved. Again, we're going to have a foul before the shot.
Excellent high-low action there. Keefe's a really good passer, has very good vision. And Luceni working hard to get inside position, and all that Dotton could do that time is grab him around the waist to prevent the easy one.
Dotton picked up fouls in less than 30 seconds. He picked up 2 of them. Owens to Brooks. It's really nice to see Lucenti healthy after that hard fall. They go backdoor to Owens, and he scores. Nice feed from Keefe.
Another really well-run play. That might be something you'll see a lot more of here in the half-court set. Get Keefe on the foul line, and they've had cutters the last 2 times that have had the advantage inside.
Juzang. Nice feed to Hooks. You see how the ball's moving?
Yes.
It's a hot potato for Harvard-Westlake.
But they did get away with a couple of travels.
Hubbard shot goes in and out and back in again.
He's a pass
They're
first.
just so alive offensively.
Hubbard's a pass first, pass second kind of point guard, but that one he couldn't pass up. And we got another 2-shot foul coming against Harvard-Westlake.
Neil Owens is really exhibiting effort in this quarter.
I think he knows that if he can get the ball into the paint, he's got a little bit of a size advantage over Hubbard.
Owens, he is a scorer. He averages better than 10 a night. And right now the Cubs need everything they can get. Down by 19.
And it's not because the Cubs defense has been so bad. I mean, Juzang's made some incredible shots, and he's just going to do that because he's such a good athlete. But, you know, with Harvard-Westlake having 42 late in the third, that's not so bad. But the Cubs' offense has been woeful tonight, and a lot of that is courtesy of the outstanding Harvard-Westlake defense.
Yeah, I think it's more Wolverine defense than anything else. They're just in their shorts so far this evening. That's tough for Loyola when they have the ball to get anything going. There's a turnover. Hooks threw it away, threw it to Brooks over the Cubs. Owens. Keefe battling. A second opportunity for Loyola, and James Keefe scores.
Well, that was a man's rebound in there because Hooks had pretty good position, but Keefe wanted it a little bit more, and then with the second jump got it over Hooks softly in the hoop. That's the James Keefe I think we've all been waiting to see tonight.
James has but 5 points. Thrower to Hubbard for 3. And Keefe doing a nice job off the window. Keefe, and 1 for James Keefe. He does work. He's a tireless worker.
And that was just pure energy from end to end. You saw him on the defensive end go up above 2 Wolverines to get the rebound, and then runs the floor, doesn't sit back and celebrate, runs the floor, gets the return pass, the finish, and 1.
Well, Loyola trying to edge closer, trying to make this championship a ball game late in the third quarter. Their offense coming to life a little bit here in the last couple minutes. James Keefe starting to score. He's up to 8 points. 18 on the shot clock, 22 on the game clock. Ju Zhang puts it up.
That was a little quick. They didn't need to shoot that nearly as fast. Chance for the Cubs.
Cubs will work for the final shot of the quarter. Neil Owens will set it up. Down to 5. Brooks for 3. They could have used that one, and they had a clean look. Harvard-Westlake, the second seed in this tournament, getting great production from Truman Gettings and passing the ball brilliantly, and that's one of the reasons Gettings is scoring. But finally, James Keefe starting to heat up for Loyola.
Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
Nothing.
I'll go buy one myself.
It was intense. Definitely a sports car.
It was so fast. It was incredible.
Why just drive when you can be thrilled? See all offers at buyatoyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Man, I am pumped for our Ontario grand opening. Have I told you the difference between a couch and a sofa yet?
Caution, hazard ahead.
How about the time I made furniture shopping super fun, super fair with untouchable values every day? Like my Calvin sofa for only $3.99, my Bobapedic Sport queen size mattress set for only $7.99, or my Scarlet bedroom whole shebang only $16.99.
Recalculating.
Okay, I get it. Too much furniture talk, but it's just so interesting, don't you think?
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Coming to Ontario February 14th.
Big advantage for Harvard-Westlake with 8 minutes to play in this championship game. Loyola's going to have to come back with a furious rally. Of course, tomorrow night we have the big one, the game of the year. Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian, two teams that are favored in the Open Division down the road.
Well, they've played a national schedule, each of them this year. I don't know if anybody's played a more tough schedule than Rancho Christian, but you have Division I caliber athletes on both sides of the ball. For Rancho Christian, you got the two Mobleys along with Dominic Harris, all major college prospects. A couple of NBA Suns on Sierra Canyon in KJ Martin and Scottie Pippen Jr. And then the high-flying Cassius Stanley, who is as electric a performer as you will see across the country at the high school level. Don't miss that one next week. Tomorrow night, I should say, Battle of the Valleys. Number 1 and number 2, Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian here on KDOC.
Mason Hooks, big number 44. A quiet night offensively, 2 points, but he has contributed. He has 12 rebounds, and Hooks has 5 steals tonight. Final 8 minutes. Hooks, for the moment, will sit. Loyola will have the ball first, and they have to make up a lot of ground here, Paul.
Well, I tell you, if that three-point shot at the buzzer had gone in, it would be only 11, and as badly as it has gone for Loyola tonight, to be down 11 wouldn't have been so bad, but they're still only down 14. A basket here gets them as close as they have been since midway through the second quarter.
Lucenti all the way, cleaned up again by Keefe with a beautiful follow with the left hand. And again, it's James Keefe leading the surge.
He seems inspired about midway through the third quarter. I don't know if he got mad or whatever, but he just seems to be jumping a little higher, running a little faster. He's got a look in his eye that says, you know, I'll carry us. You get me the ball.
Well, again, he's the Stanford commit and a terrific player. Ju Zhang with a gorgeous pass to Gettings. No basket, a walk. And Harvard-Westlake turns it over. And here come the Cubs.
No doubt. Nice, once again, screen roll, but Gettings didn't catch it cleanly. The nice bounce pass, the pocket pass from Ju Zhang was on the money, but Truman didn't make a clean catch. That caused the travel.
You're playing through James Keefe. Owens, and one! A spectacular finish. And the kiss. And again, that Loyola bench is alive. They're within 10.
The senior leader, Owens, looked for Keefe on the screen roll and then took it into 3 defenders, absorbed the contact, got it off the glass, and in a chance for a three-point play that would put them in single digits for the first time since the first quarter.
Owens looking for his 11th point of the evening. 42-33.
Well,
Number one is storming back.
There's a look in the Cubs' eye that I have not seen even since the game started.
Some pressure on Harvard-Westlake at the offensive end. We'll go to number 5, Johnny Juzang. Juzang has the base and scores, and he can make a three-point play. How do you stop him? A tremendous first step.
And he waited until the game sort of came to him. He had the ball initially on the possession, and you would have thought, well, he'll just take it to the basket. But he waited, reversed the basketball. It came back a second time. This time he had a lane to the basket, and look at the finish over the outstretched arm of Keefe.
Johnny Juzang has 20 points, 20 of the 45. Lead back to a dozen.
Oh, that's a momentum stopper.
Well, he's a great player. He averages 22 plus a game, and Johnny Juzang has been a star in this tournament. I love the concept of having a college-like tournament at the prep level. It's really working for the Mission League. Everybody's enjoyed it here this week. The bank is open for James Keefe.
That's a college move by Keefe. He was cut off on the right-hand dribble, then reversed it. Nice reverse pivot, softly high off the glass for the hoop. Back within 10.
45-35. Approaching 6 minutes to play. Loyola with more zest at the defensive end, looking for a defensive stop.
Good show by Keefe that time on Juzang.
Juzang able to pitch it out. The long shot is no good. Brooks rebounds. Shot was taken by Hinton. And the Cubs still have time to pull it out.
Oh, a hoop here, and I would think Coach Rabibo would like a Harvard-Westlake timeout.
Keefe at the high post. Back door open. Cox has it. And they're, for the first time tonight, breaking down the Wolverine D.
Excellent patience on offense. They realize that can't have any more empty possessions, but what a terrific backdoor cut. Talked about that a little bit earlier. When they have an aggressive perimeter defense, you can go backdoor on those guys.
Juzang and Lucenti matched up. And he's fouled, obviously. Lucenti pushed him. Boy, he is a run stopper. And we're not talking about the defensive line of the Rams.
There you see Lucenti doing all he can to try to keep him in front of him. But Juzang sensed the proximity of the defender and just sort of lowered his shoulder into him to draw himself a two-shot opportunity.
The stoppage in play. Dotton and Hooks return for Harvard-Westlake. Johnny Juzang looking for his 22nd point of this championship game. It's in the air, and it's short.
That's the first time all night he's looked a little fatigued.
5 minutes to play to try to erase a 9-point deficit. It is doable. Cox came up short, and Juzang covers that rebound. Well, Jamal Adams' team, though, they're getting the looks that they want. Clock very friendly for Harvard-Westlake. Trying to hold on and win the championship of the Mission League Culmination Tournament. Gettings thought about the three, and he's rejected. And a foul in the backcourt on Harvard-Westlake on Hooks. Well, Jared Cox doing a nice job cutting to the goal and scoring. And then there's that man, Juzang. And Keefe is rolling as well for Loyola.
A big reminder, the Powerball jackpot is over $175 million. Play now.
When you hear the word sizzler, do you think steak or shrimp? Perhaps you think both, as in steak and shrimp scampi. Or how about that steak and honey sriracha shrimp starting at $11.99? Yeah, when you hear steak, shrimp, and $11.99, you want sizzler.
Tomorrow on the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, it's a matchup of the two best teams in California. Watch as USC commits Isaiah and Evan Mobley lead the Rancho Christian Eagles against #1 ranked Sierra Canyon. The talented Trailblazers are led by Scottie Pippen Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr., and All-American guard Cassius Stanley. It's Rancho Christian versus Sierra Canyon. Don't miss it. Only on KDOC TV Los Angeles.
As poorly as Loyola played throughout the first 3 quarters, they're within striking distance. They have a chance. You can see the enthusiasm around Jamal Adams. And offensively, they're executing much better in this 4th quarter.
No question about it. They're finally getting some separation with some backdoor cuts and maybe some hard ball screens that have gotten some space. But I just think the whole team has gotten better. They've fed off the energy of that man, 22, James Keefe. He sort of started playing like a man possessed about midway through the 3rd quarter, and everybody came with him. And that's a true leader when suddenly he goes, look, we all have to play better and follow my lead. And James Keefe has been magnificent here the last 8 minutes.
And the guy with the ball, Owens, has played well, igniting the offense with Keefe. Trying to close that gap down. Each possession monumental. Brooks from deep. Just cannot connect on the big shots. You know, Loyola's one big shot away from really making this a tight struggle.
That's a 2-possession game if he makes that.
Hooks. Backing Keefe down, knocks Keefe to the ground, and a foul on Hooks.
One of the few times that Hooks sort of bulled his way to the basket after that 3rd dribble. There was no chance he wasn't going to get the charge, and Loyola is fired up now.
Hooks has 4 fouls, so he'll have to play very carefully in the final 3 minutes and 51 seconds.
Well, you commented early, Randy, about how Harvard-Westlake had great movement off the ball and the passing was very crisp. The last 3 or 4 possessions have been a lot of dribbling and a lot of ISO, and that's not the game that got them to the big lead. And all of a sudden it's made them easier to defend. And now Loyola, if they can just knock a couple of shots down, we might have a really interesting last 3 minutes.
Never easy to finish off a championship game in a tournament. Harvard-Westlake is seeing that. Lucenti for 3. Again, they can't connect. So opportunities for Loyola. 2 possessions in a row, they miss the 3 ball. 3.5 to play. Gettings posting up inside, scores. Truman Gettings.
Good spacing that time, and Hooks is such a good passer. Gettings presented himself, made himself available. Might have got away with a little hook, and then the baby hook, good for 2.
Lucenti scores an off-balance shot. That was not an easy one and a sharp angle, but Anthony got it. We're back by 9. 3 minutes to play. It's going to be difficult for Loyola. They need defensive stops. Harvard-Westlake eating up that clock, trying to preserve the advantage. The number 2 seed leading the top seed in the tournament. Juzang, the burst and the basket. Johnny J has 23.
Once again, excellent spacing by the Wolverines, and then all Juzang needed was a high ball screen, and he has been, you talk about a 3-level scorer, he scored from everywhere on the court tonight.
Yeah, from inside, outside, and at mid-range, off balance, it doesn't matter. It's going down for Johnny Juzang, and we've seen that both nights here. He's been great, and he makes tough shots, even with defenders closing in his face.
Special player, going to be one of the best in the country in the class of 2020.
Special J. The J is in for jumper. The J is for Johnny Juzang. And look at this one, going through the entire Cub defense.
Once again, a couple of times in this game when Loyola looked like they had the momentum, it was Juzang that came through with the play, and that's what leaders do. And he's taken on much larger leadership role this year. Harvard-Westlake trying to win their first league title since 2011.
The ACC tomorrow morning here on KDOC, and love that first matchup. Couple top 25 teams, and Virginia Tech and NC State and Virginia. You want to watch them. They'll grind their teams, play great defense, very good basketball team.
Well, they've got Duke coming up after Miami, so you might excuse them if they don't take Miami as seriously. Miami at the bottom of the conference, but that win over NC State in overtime might be the one that does it for Virginia as far as keeping them on top of the heap in the ACC.
And Harvard-Westlake showing a press. Jones missed it. And the Wolverines have it, and they're in great shape to win this tournament. 11-point advantage with 2:20 to play.
Yeah, I would expect they won't shoot anything here until there's inside of 10 on the shot clock the rest of the way.
And they'll play through number 5, Johnny Juzang. He handles it so well. The step-back jumper came up short. Cubs need to push it. The trailer is Owens for 3. Out of bounds, the Cubs will get another crack at the goal.
Must possessions every time for Loyola from here on in as we're inside of 2 minutes to go. They catch a break there because the rebound was secured by Harvard-Westlake and then they lost it on the baseline. So they can't afford to have any more missed opportunities. But I got to give a quick shout out to Jamal Adams' mom, Sylvia, who years ago had some serious health situations. But Jamal tells me that Sylvia is doing really well now, and I'm really delighted to hear that. And so she's watching tonight at home on KDOC TV. So Sylvia, just keep doing what you're doing and keep getting better.
Great to hear that. Wonderful news. Owens, trouble bringing it in. He's forced to call the timeout. Well, the Cubs come to the sideline. They need to hit shots and force turnovers. That's what they're going to have to do. They've had a nice effort from Keefe, who's done his thing. James has a dozen. That was a furious dunk. And he's the one that fueled that comeback, and you mentioned it late in the third quarter. He started to rev it up.
Yeah, no question about that. And I think the team also fed off that, and they just started to play a little harder with a little more focus. And Keefe just did a great job. That was a 20-point deficit, and they got to where they actually had a shot. They had 2 different opportunities to cut it to 6, but they just couldn't get that 3 ball to go in, which has been a staple of Loyola Cubs' success this year.
Yeah, the Cubs, who've won 21 games, have only lost 5 games this year. And again, there wasn't high expectations early, but they've had a great season, and their coach Jamal Adams is very proud of this team. But there's no 11-point play, so they're going to have to make each and every possession count. Butler's shot is blocked by McCray. Keefe.
Oh, Butler
and
fell
now Butler's
hard.
down, yeah.
He fell really hard and is slow in getting up. Keefe kept the possession alive by going strong to the hoop and getting a 2-shot foul. But even that sort of emblematic of what's happened to Loyola tonight. That was close to being in and one situation as Butler gets a hand from the crowd tonight. I tell you, there's no quit in this Cub team, and that's why I think they're going to be a really difficult out if they wind up in Division I. I think everybody that plays them is going to have to bring their A game because this senior team, they know how to win. They're 7-1 in close games of 6 points or less this year. They just couldn't get it to 6.
Yeah, they just had one of those nights that they just didn't shoot the ball well. You see Doughton come to the sideline. He hit some big shots for Harvard-Westlake in the first half.
The Wolverines had great team basketball for the better part of 3.5 quarters. Contributions from a lot of different players, and that's what's going to make them difficult come playoff time, no matter what division they're in. Harvard-Westlake's got athletes, and then they've got great role players, a well-coached team that's going to be tough to handle. But now they'll just run some clock. They are in no hurry. I would guess they'll shoot this or start going to the basket once it gets inside of 10, which is nearing now.
And it's Juzang, and that's no surprise. Isolated against Lucente. One of his rare misses. Yelling from the bench of Loyola, just saying, go, go,
yeah.
go.
Got to be quick here.
Keefe stumbling, and he's held. It'll be a 1-and-1. James just missed a couple of them. You know, he wants to knock down that first one and earn the bonus.
Stanford's got a class act here. Of course, Dad, Adam, was a remarkable player for Stanford and then went on to be a lottery pick in the NBA with the Hawks, had a nice career in the NBA. James has similarities to his game, not quite as explosive a scorer as Adam was in high school, but Stanford's got a gem here. This is a young man that's just going to be, I think, an early and frequent contributor up there in Palo Alto.
Yeah, and he's a terrific kid. He's the kind of player you can win with. Good personality. His teammates really enjoy working with him on the court. Juzang with a gorgeous look to Hooks, and he's fouled going up strong. Boy, you could see Juzang's full game there with a beautiful, beautiful bounce pass.
Well, this
the
is
lost
why,
art.
Yeah, this is why I think Johnny could play the 1 or the 2 at the next level, because he's got a really good handle, and he is a willing passer who seems to have that special vision. He can thread the needle in there to his teammates, that time to Hooks, who had a shot at a slam, but Keith didn't allow it. Now, while you mentioned it, Randy, Mason hasn't had a great offensive game, but it shows you that he can contribute in other fashions. I mean, double figures in rebounds and 5 steals. You know, some nights, all you young players out there, if the shot isn't going, you can still contribute in other manners like Hooks did tonight.
So it's going to be Harvard-Westlake as Hooks leaves. Great defensive game. Yeoman work on the glass. Cubs will be the runner-up. Both will be tournament bound. And finally a 3-ball for C.J. Jones and a quick timeout for Loyola. It's going to be too little too late, one would imagine. But again, this Loyola team, and Paul talked about it, they believe they can win. So they'll take that timeout, see what they can get accomplished in the final 43 seconds.
They played really hard. Down 20, you might have thought, well, you know, it's just not their night, and they might have packed it in, but not this Cubs team, not Jamal Adams' team. They obviously fought back to where I believe it was 46-37, and they had 2 good looks at threes, and suddenly if it's 46-40, you got to wonder if maybe old momentum would be all over the blue and white.
I want to remind everyone that Goldbergs is coming up next, so stay tuned for the Goldbergs on KDOC as Jamal maps out his strategy and see if he can get a score out of the timeout. He needs to get a defensive stop first. Of course, tomorrow night, we're waiting for it. Going to look forward to seeing those Trailblazers and all those gifted athletes against the Mobley brothers of Rancho Christian. Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian, it's going to be a fun time at Pasadena City College.
No doubt about it. Obviously, athletes of the highest regard, and both these teams are going to play up-tempo. It's going to be fast, entertaining basketball. Don't miss it.
Even the little old lady from Pasadena knows how to get to that game. 51-42. Loyola fought hard here in the second half. They just dug a huge hole. And hard to come out of it in a game like this when you're playing against a very good Harvard-Westlake team. It's into Hubbard. And Keefe with a near steal fouls Juzang.
You know, Harvard-Westlake's going to score somewhere in the mid-50s tonight, depending on their free throw shooting. And if you would have told Jamal Adams before the game, you're going to hold Harvard-Westlake and Juzang and Hooks and company to 55, say, I think he would have taken that, because I think he felt, well, my team can put up 60-something, and we'll take that kind of defensive effort. But some nights the ball just won't go in. And this was one of those for Loyola, where time after time they had good looks at it, and the rim just wouldn't have it. But you got to shake it off because the playoffs are around the corner.
6-team foul as Loyola commits the foul. As Brooks, they're just trying to commit the quick foul and eventually get to the 1-and-1, and the next foul would get them there. Jones goes out. Cox will come in as the outstanding defender. You see another quick foul, and it'll send Juzang to the free throw line. I want to thank everyone on our David Otter production crew for their work tonight here from Alameda High School in Mission Hills. Been a thrill to be part of this inaugural tournament. We love the fact that we have a prep tournament, much like you'll see in the Pac-12 or the West Coast Conference or the Mountain West. To see it at the high school level, it's been really fun, and it's really a great time for Juzang and Harvard-Westlake to be victorious.
This is such a good league, and the regular season in league had so many close games. Not a lot of separation between first and fifth in this Mission League. And credit to the Mission League for the innovation of the conference tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see more leagues looking into this.
Johnny Juzang with 25 with a 53. Final half minute of action. Lucenti. Good defensive effort by Truman Gettings. It's the Wolverines basketball. Up 11. The only thing in doubt is the final score. Harvard-Westlake is going to improve to 19-7. Loyola's going to fall to 21-6. Foul is taken by C.J. Jones, so back to the foul line goes Dot. Just 20 seconds left.
Harvard-Westlake got great contributions from the role players tonight. I thought Truman Gettings was outstanding all game long on both ends. Brace Dotton made some big shots at the end of the first half to stretch the lead. And Spencer Hubbard is just a terrific point guard who gets his teammates into positions where they can succeed.
Loyola had looks to close it down, just never made that big three. Owens inside, got it back, and scores. It's window dressing at this point. Down to 4 seconds, the clock's going to run out, and 53-44 is your final. 53-44, and you can see they're jumping for joy. Harvard-Westlake of Studio City, the champions, and Hooks showing the muscles. I believe the game is over. The officials are walking off the court. They don't want to have any more of this. The game is history. For a moment, the teams thought there might be a few tenths of a second left. That's going to wrap it up. For Paul Westfall, I'm Randy Roseland. Truman Gettings was sensational tonight. Number 10 in the dark uniforms. I want to remind everyone tomorrow, the big one, Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian. But the man of the hour is Johnny Juzang, 25 points. The Wolverines are the champions of the Mission League.